Welcome to our 2024 U.S. presidential election update, where we break down the polling numbers for every state in the race between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. The competition is fierce in several key battlegrounds, and today we're going to explore the polling in all 50 states. Let's dive right into the numbers. Arizona. Arizona is another crucial battleground where Trump leads with 48% of the vote compared to Harris's 47%. Trump is ahead by 1%, but it's still a toss-up. Michigan. In Michigan, Trump also leads by 1% with 48% of the vote compared to Harris's 47%. Nevada. In Nevada, Trump leads by a narrow 0.6%, holding 48% to Harris's 47.4%. North Carolina. North Carolina is also close with Trump, leading 48% to Harris's 47%, giving him a 1% advantage. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is yet another swing state, where Trump holds a slim lead of 0.5% polling at 48.1% to Harris's 47.6%. Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, Harris has a slight edge, leading with 47.7% to Trump's 47.4%, a margin of just 0.3%. California. Kamala Harris holds a commanding lead in California with 58% to Trump's 33%, a margin of 25%. Georgia. In Georgia, it's a dead heat with both Trump and Harris tied at 47%. Florida. In Florida, Trump leads by 5%, holding 50% of the vote to Harris's 45%. Montana. Trump has a strong lead in Montana, polling at 58% compared to Harris's 39%, a difference of 19%. Ohio. In Ohio, Trump leads by 7% with 50% of the vote to Harris's 43%. Texas. Texas shows Trump ahead by 6%, polling at 51% compared to Harris's 45%. Maryland. Harris holds a large lead in Maryland with 61% of the vote compared to Trump's 33%, a difference of 28%. Massachusetts. In Massachusetts, Harris leads by 29% polling at 62% compared to Trump's 32%. Minnesota. Harris leads in Minnesota by 6% with 49% of the vote compared to Trump's 43%. Virginia. In Virginia, Harris has a 7% lead, polling at 50% to Trump's 42%. New Hampshire. Harris is ahead in New Hampshire, leading by 9% with 52% of the vote to Trump's 43%. Iowa. Trump leads in Iowa by 5%, polling at 49% to Harris's 44%. North Dakota. In North Dakota, Trump holds a commanding lead of 27% with 59% of the vote compared to Harris's 32%. South Carolina. Trump leads in South Carolina by 10%, holding 52% to Harris's 42%. Alaska. Trump holds a 9% lead in Alaska with 52% of the vote compared to Harris's 43%. Indiana. In Indiana, Trump leads by 16%, polling at 56% to Harris's 39%. Nebraska District 2 inches. Harris leads Nebraska's 2nd District by 8%, polling at 50% to Trump's 42%. Delaware. In Delaware, Harris holds an 18% lead with 55% of the vote compared to Trump's 36%. New York. Harris leads by 13% in New York with 54% of the vote compared to Trump's 41%. Colorado. In Colorado, Harris leads by 11%, polling at 53% to Trump's 42%. New Mexico. Harris leads in New Mexico by 7% with 49% of the vote compared to Trump's 41%. Connecticut. In Connecticut, Harris leads by 16%, polling at 57% to Trump's 41%. Rhode Island. Harris holds a 16% lead in Rhode Island with 57% of the vote compared to Trump's 40%. Maine. Harris leads Maine with 54% of the vote compared to Trump's 41%, a lead of 13%. Maine District 1 inch. Harris has a strong lead in Maine's 1st District, polling at 61% to Trump's 34%, a 27% lead. Maine District 2 inches. In Maine's 2nd District, Trump leads by just 1%, with 48% of the vote to Harris's 47%. Missouri. Trump leads by 11% in Missouri, with 53% of the vote compared to Harris's 42%. Arkansas. Trump holds a 15% lead in Arkansas, polling at 55% to Harris's 40%. Washington. Harris leads in Washington by 21%, polling at 53% to Trump's 32%. Oklahoma. Trump leads by 16% in Oklahoma, with 56% of the vote compared to Harris's 40%. Nebraska. In Nebraska, overall, Trump leads by 17%, with 54% of the vote compared to Harris's 37%. West Virginia. Trump leads by 27% in West Virginia, with 61% of the vote compared to Harris's 34%. Utah. In Utah, Trump leads by 32%, polling at 60% compared to Harris's 28%. Vermont. Harris has a dominant lead in Vermont, polling at 70% to Trump's 29%, a difference of 41%. Oregon. In Oregon, Harris leads by 5%, polling at 49% to Trump's 44%. Alabama. Trump holds a 20% lead in Alabama, polling at 58% compared to Harris's 38%. Kansas. In Kansas, Trump leads by 16% with 55% of the vote compared to Harris's 39%. Tennessee. Trump leads by 18% in Tennessee, polling at 57% to Harris's 39%. South Dakota. In South Dakota, Trump leads by 30%, holding 62% of the vote compared to Harris's 32%. Hawaii. In Hawaii, Harris leads by 22%, polling at 58% to Trump's 36%. Illinois. Harris leads Illinois by 15%, with 55% of the vote compared to Trump's 40%. Wyoming. Trump holds a massive 37% lead in Wyoming, polling at 65% to Harris's 28%. Idaho. Trump leads Idaho by 26%, polling at 60% compared to Harris's 34%. That wraps up our breakdown of the polling data from all 50 states in the 2024 presidential race between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. As you saw, it's a nail-biter in those key battleground states, and this election could go down to the wire. The stakes are high, and every vote will count. We want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you think will come out on top? Will it be Trump or Harris? Let us know. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.